Hi, this is Joe again with another movie review. And for the start of this video, we're going to be discussing the uh, 1956 Washington Hammerstein movie musical, Oklahoma. Starring Shirley Jones, Gordon McRae, and also saw Rod Steiger in this film too. And it's actually the film debut of Shirley Jones. So of course, some like 15, 16 years later, she was star in The Partridge Family. So it's been, excuse me, she has starred in other films. And this is this first of two films, the Shirley Jones story with Gordon McRae, the other one being Carousel. Um, this is her film debut. She's about like 18, 19 years, 17 or 18 when she started in this film. And of course, she was kind of a babe then. But this is a movie that's based on one of the first Washington Hammerstein musicals about Curly, who was played by Gordon McRae, falls in love with Shirley Jones's character. And but the problem is that Shirley Jones was seeing Judd, who was played by Rod Steiger, played with this hard Hyatt here. And when Judd realizes that Shirley Jones doesn't, love him or care for him, uh, as they did when she first met him, she used to take care of him when he was sick, and he was working from him for her for years, and she never fell in love with him. And so he was, annoyed with that. And then all of a sudden, this Curly come along who was, you know, much thinner, build wise, and much better looking than Mike Steiger. And he realized he's trying to that Shirley Jones trying to dump Mike Steiger for Curly, and the Gordon McRae character. So he's trying to find ways to break him up and probably even to kill him, which he tries to do towards the end of the movie. Of course, this movie has uh, goes from one musical number pretty much to the next in the musical, and we do have some dialogue in the middle, but the movie is a lot shorter uh, than a lot of movie musicals are. Uh, and movie musicals at the time, so it was only like a 2 hour, 20-minute movie. Most movie musicals are at least 2.5 to 3 hour films, and this one is a little bit shorter, and it has a lot more songs in it. So it goes because of the time, it goes from one musical number to the next, and it has a lot of big dance numbers in it. Which there's one particular sequence just before the first half of the movie ended, the Laurie's dream sequence, which was the name of Shirley Jones's character, and that sequence goes on for about 6 minutes. I mean, it's a long, extremely long sequence, and to me it drags the movie down. And to me, it drags the movie down. And as a part of the movie, it's also a part of the Broadway show version, but it just takes forever to get through this dance sequence. I mean, it takes a really long time. And for all my children fans out there, if you look close, James Mitchell, who had played Paul McCartney in the ABC soap All My Children, stars in that sequence. He plays Curly in the dream sequence. I don't know why they couldn't get Gordon McRae to play himself, in the dance sequence. I guess maybe because he couldn't dance, or whatever the reason was. He was not in the dream sequence. So James Mitchell, who, like I said earlier, most famously played Paul McCartney in ABC soap All My Children, played Curly in the dream sequence. So if you look close, you can tell that was him. So 20 years before, or 20 years, or more than 20 years before he starred in All My Children. So there's a little bit of interesting trivia in that note. But as the film itself, of course, it is a classic film, even though to me, it has way too many dance sequences in it. Even for a movie musical, because I'm used to dance sequences in, like, let's say, a story. But those dance sequences don't go on for about like 5 or 6 minutes, like the dream sequence did. But it does go on for a couple of minutes, but not to that, nowhere close to that length. But I'm not saying it's a bad movie. It does have some great songs in it. Of course, the opening song, "Oh What a Beautiful Morning," of course opens up the movie, and of course, other songs like "People Were Saying We Were in Love," of course, the title song "Oklahoma," are all big classics. And I know a lot of people out there make fun of musicals um, for gays and women, and that's it. Well, I can tell you now, I'm not homosexual, and I like musicals. Because of the songs that they're in, particularly the Rodgers and Hammerstein musicals, because basically they're the best ones. And of course, I think this was like the first musical that Rodgers and Hammerstein collaborated together with, and of course it became a movie in 1956. I think it was like the first. I'm not sure if it's the first one that was turned into a movie. Uh, Rodgers and Hammerstein musical turned into a movie. I'm not sure it's the first one, but it did come out before South Pacific, which came out 2 years later, or The Sound of Music, which came out in 1965 as a movie. But this, or Flower Drum Song, or any of the other, or Carousel, I'm not sure what year Carousel came out, but I know it was after this movie. And this movie you know, does have a ton of songs in it, and a ton of dance sequences, which to me, that especially Laurie's dream sequence slows it down because I think it's considerably much too long. But of course, you can tell how great of a singer Shirley Jones is by watching this movie, because even though that she looked like when she was in the portrait show, it looked like she was mouthing the words, but she can't sing, and that's how she got this part. I don't know if she started in the Broadway versions, but in this movie and Carousel, I think also the Music Man, she was also in as musicals. And this one is really the first one that really got a story. Of course, there's also another subplot where there was another character named Will who was in love with a girl named Fast Annie, who like one particular song that Shakespeare does sing was like, "And just a girl who can't say no." Because she never turns a guy down. And guy asks her out, or a guy says, "Oh, would you like to go for a buggy ride or something?" And she always says yes. She never says no to anybody. And of course, the subplot is, "Oh, if I have $50, your father will never marry you," and all that. And that's one subplot. But of course, it does work out. Obviously, it works out at the end. Um, Even though they technically didn't get married yet, by the time the movie is over, but they do get engaged by the end of the movie. Uh, then, of course, you had, of course, the subplot where Fat Annie was also going out and hanging out with this French peddler guy, and they have it was kind of like a funny little bit, especially with this one girl with this crazy laugh of the movie, where he gets roped into the peddler gets roped into marrying her, um, which is a little crazy, little silly of subplot compared to the main plot. The main plot was after when Laurie, the Shirley Jones character, breaks up with Judd. Uh, Judd tries to kill her. He knows there's this novelty bit, but you look through like a little telescope and you see a new picture of a woman. Well, in this thing, you push a button and a knife pops out and you kill somebody. Um, Even though nobody knew about this except for Judd. For some reason, Judd knew about it. And he asked the pilot if he had something like that. He said no. And then he ends up getting this thing from another guy, the real character. He had this thing. But he didn't know that there was a button in there that pops a knife out and could stab somebody. Uh, so Judd got a hold of it and tried to kill, uh, you know, Curly with this thing. And somebody told and Hella, or the old lady in this film, um, that Judd's trying to kill Curly with this novelty thing, and and the old lady broke this thing up, and of course Judd and ruins Judd's plan, and of course later on in the film when they do have the wedding scene with Shirley Jones and Curly, um, Mallory and Curly, um, Judd of course breaks in and tries to kill the two of them, burning a haystack that they happen to be standing on because the other guys trying to put a prank on him. They force him on this haystack, and here comes Judd, and he burns the haystack with that more, and he has a knife. So come on, he's turning Curly to a fight, and Curly jumps down from the haystack onto Curly, or Curly jumps off the haystack onto Judd, and Judd, you know, landed on the knife, and he died. Of course, which is a similar bit of what happened in Carousel, which I know I haven't done Carousel, but Gordon McQueen's character does die of the same thing, of landing on his own knife. Eventually stabbing himself with his own knife. And Gordon McQueen's character does die in Carousel, almost exactly the same circumstance, almost. Dying with a knife. And when my father first saw the two movies, he says, "What is it? You can't figure out another way to kill a character than stabbing themselves?" But anyway, until the movie, of course, that's pretty much how the movie had ended. Was Rod Steiger's character dying on his own knife, by falling on his own knife. And then, of course, in the next day they had like a little trial with a county judge in the house, and then he says, "Come on, we know it's a self-defense thing." And the judge says, "I know, but I have to go through this thing as a procedure." And the sheriff in the town said, "Wait a minute, this is not in the courthouse. We're in the house. We're not in the courthouse. So who cares? I'm the judge. I'm ready to do this thing. Let's do this thing now." We're going to try and rush him off to Curly and Lori's characters because they're going on their honeymoon. And we can't be delayed by fooling around and stuff, otherwise they're going to miss the train. So, okay, let's do this thing. And the judge says, "Okay, let's do this thing now." And Curly says, "Look, I don't care what Curly did, what Judd did before. I want to know what happened in this particular night you were winning." He says, "Well, what happened was we were in a haystack and Judd was trying to burn us to death, and he jumped off to fight him, but to fight Judd, and Judd landed on his own knife and he died." And he says, "Oh, okay, so it's self-defense then. Case dismissed." And that's how they ended the case, ended that, and they got on the Surrey with the fringe on top, and that's how the movie ends. Of course, that Surrey the fringe on top is one of the early songs in the musical. But the movie itself, it does go a little, I don't want to say quick, but the storylines kind of go a little bit quick, and I feel they should have not have so much of the dancing. You can say, I know I've said it a couple times already, and just tell the story. But the movie is, a classic film. I just watched it over the weekend so I could do a review on. It's one of the few musical movies I haven't done a review on, so I'm doing it now. And you can see that this movie is I know I'm showing the old VHS version here, but this movie is a classic. I can show you the back with his Rod Steiger right here, versus Shirley Jones and Gordon McQueen on the back and also on the front. So, the movie is it's a movie classic. And if you like musicals, you gotta have, or at least see Oklahoma, or at least, or if not have it in your collection, you have to see it at least once. Because I always recommend that one should have cite musicals first before anything else. And I know a lot of people like to rag on musicals, but a lot of the songs that were in the top 10 before the rock and roll league kicked in, and before the Beatles. Before the Beatles and Elvis really took over the top of the charts, a lot of the songs that was in the top 10 on the Billboard charts are from Broadway musicals, and or the movies. So So you know, a lot of people make fun of musicals, say that they're for gays, or gays like it, and all that crap. The musicals were the best stuff. If you ever go to weddings at that time, or bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, or weddings, those songs were always playing in weddings. So for people who make fun of musicals, they say, fuck you. Musicals are really the best part of one of the better sides of movies. You always have like a positive message to them. At least I feel. And to make fun of them and say only gays like her, or look how many gays or in Broadway musicals throughout, particularly throughout from the 50s, 60s, all the way up to today, or how many gays are behind it. And all, I mean, who cares? Who cares? They put out good stuff, and I mean, people who are behind Broadway musicals and everything, they put out good. I mean, Andrew Lloyd Webber has made great musicals, and as far as I know, he's not gay. I mean, he was married a couple of times to women. But I know I got on a tangent here. But that is my review of the movie Oklahoma. Please click on the video, please rate it. Please subscribe to my channel. And please follow this video on your Facebook pages. And also you can check out my older some of my older videos on rallyc.com. That's ROWDY.com. Plus, you can check out all my videos, including ones that are on my movie reviews on my YouTube channel. You can check all of them on my YouTube channel, plus on rallyc.com. And you can check out Rally's content on his website, and he does a great job with TV trash videos. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.